Yeah, what do you got to drink? Oh, yeah, I'll take one of those. Yeah, man. I've always been a low-key Pepsi guy. I think Pepsi hits a little different, you know. Sometimes Coke is good, but, you know, I think Coca-Cola is like a winter beverage. Pepsi, man, I don't know what it is. Goes good with a lot of things. I like eating it with, like, burgers and stuff. But, you know, I've been trying to cut down on my pop and stuff. Been trying to drink more water. And that's been going pretty well because pop doesn't really do much for you. But anyways, we are here with another episode of the Dom Just Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. We are here. We're here. Today is Monday, February 13th. As of this recording, you guys may hear this a couple days later. I don't know yet. But we're here, and that's the most important part. I've been kind of busy a little bit, but you know, I've been noticing a couple things with life and being late. Do you guys notice or like even take to account that I feel like personally that if I live closer to something, I always end up running more late because I think think about that I'm not going to be late. Like I live next to the school that I go to, and I'm like, oh, I'll get there. I'll leave right in time, like 10 minutes before. I'll get there plenty of time. And I'm always late. But when I live like an hour away from certain things, I would make sure I was on time. Because, you know, when you're an hour late, you got to be there. You got to leave early. It's just how it goes. But anyways, yeah, so do you guys get places that are, you know, do you get places faster when you're farther or closer? Let me know. Yeah, you know, I've been driving around and doing things. A thing that I find myself doing now that I'm older is, you know, picking up people at the airport. That's usually my biggest thing I got to do for someone. That's my way of giving back, I think, in the urban area. Definitely giving people rides. You know, I've noticed, you know, driving to SeaTac, Seattle, Tacoma Airport, that the Lovers is still going strong. It is still there. It is still... It's still right off the exit there. Never been inside there personally, but, you know, every time I go by, it's still there. Still, it's got a big sign. You know, parking lot seems pretty full. You know, you got to account for the other cars that are there too. Maybe those are workers or maybe like the local bank nearby, because there's always a local bank nearby and something like that. But yeah, that was a good time. And, you know, got to have Tosh here last episode. That was great. And, you know, we talked a lot of funny things. We talked about great things that are going on, Marvel, what he's doing for his community back home, and now we're here talking to just me, or you're listening to just me. And been talking a lot of uncle stuff lately. You know, I ran into this one uncle one time, and he said, hey, you know, could I get a ride down to Seattle? It wasn't my uncle. It was actually my buddy's uncle from another res. And he was like, hey, yeah, give me a ride. And my buddy was like, yeah, sure, we're going down there anyway. So we were going down there for... I remember what we were going down there for. But anyways, you know, yeah, just drop me off at Pike's Place. And I was just like, okay, yeah, cool. He's going to go to Pike's Place, maybe get something to eat. Little did I know, we're actually dropping this uncle off at the Showgirls. And that was a pretty funny experience. Because at 5:30, that's usually when things start closing up at Seattle Pike's Place Market. And the uncle was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Because I remember saying, like, even when he was in the car, he's like, oh, yeah, I think most of the stuff's closed down at Pike's Place around 5:30. After 5:30, he's like, oh, no, it's, you know, there's a restaurant down there. I think he was talking about the wings at the strip club. Who knows? I don't really know. But anyways, yeah, and I remember after he got out of the car, it was real weird. He had like this, he had 2 packets of M&Ms, just regular M&Ms, like ones that you just buy at the store. Because we stopped by the store to go get I don't remember if it was gas or Gatorades or something like that. And he's like, oh, yeah, you guys want these M&Ms? And I was like, sure, yeah, because I like M&Ms. You know, a lot of people were Team Skittles for a long time. Skittles were huge when I was in middle school, partly because, you know, Marshawn Lynch on the Seattle Seahawks and Skittles, and people like Skittles too, especially when you're a kid. Who doesn't like candy? But I always leaned towards M&Ms because I like chocolate. I didn't really start hitting, you know, the chocolate crave until I got older. But at the time, I think I was right at that cusp. So I said, yeah, I'll take the M&Ms, and he hands me the M&Ms. This guy don't give me the whole thing. He just rips open the bag, pours me a handful, and this uncle proceeds to go into the Showgirls with the hand of one hand has, I think, his wallet, his phone, and his keys or whatever, and the other hand he had M&Ms, half bag because he gave me some and my buddy some, and those M&Ms were warm, man. You know, warm M&Ms. I'm almost trying to find a way to dispose of them. I'm almost trying to find like a little toddler who wants a piece of candy, like, here, you have them. Because I don't want them. Because, you know, toddlers love candy. Or little kids, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll have some candy. Like, here. They don't care. A child will eat a half-eaten M&M if you let them. And if it's warm, they don't mind. But there was no little cousins of mine nearby to pawn off the other M&Ms. So I indeed had to eat the warm M&Ms, and there's just something about that, man. The semi-warm M&M. Feels a little disrespectful, to be honest with you. But, you know, I was thankful. Some people have never tried M&Ms. Have you guys seen those videos of people going down to, like, uninhabited, or not uninhabited, that's not right to say, but, like, people in Africa or people in South America who have never tried certain candies before, or just other third world countries, and offer them things they've never had. Like, I remember this guy went to this village in Africa and he brought them Sour Patch Kids, and a lot, like 70% of them were like, I'm good. Like, this isn't, you know, too sour or too sweet. And there's a couple kids who loved it. They just smiled ear to ear. But I mean, if you're not eating sugar every day, I wonder how good it would be. Like, the first time you've had anything, especially in candy, I wonder what your reaction was to, like, oh man. I want to know what my first reaction was to, like, warm M&Ms as a kid. I'm pretty sure I didn't care. It's like, oh yeah. You know, the M&Ms at the party in the bowl, or the Skittles in a bowl, they're like kind of warm, and you're like, yeah, I'll eat them, whatever. But man, we used to have these, I don't know if you guys had this, but at birthday parties, I'm sure everybody had this. You know, they have the jars of candy, and you got to guess how much is in there, and whoever does wins it. And man, I would take that serious. But we started doing the thing that you would see, you had to look at it, you can't touch it, and you can't do the math thing, because that was kind of like, you could figure it out if you really, like, sat there and counted. So I remember I won one time, and man, dude, I had that candy for about a week, and I was just in heaven. I think it was a bunch of lemon heads, and I'm a big lemon fan. I like lemon soap, I like lemon candy, lemon cake, lemon everything, man. And that was, yeah, that was good. They were not warm lemon heads, that's for sure. I definitely kept them above, I guess you could say below room temperature. Not in the fridge, but, you know, kept them normal. And that was something kind of, something I was thinking about. Just like as much as tradespeople be thinking about people in college, man. That's a lot. Hey, no disrespect to trades or nothing, but sometimes I'll be just chilling. And, you know, that's the route I decided to choose, was go to college and figure out, you know, the degree and stuff like that. But it never stops people in the trades from, you know, coming in and saying how much money they make and how much their decision was better than mine. And every time I get in these conversations with these trades guys, or, you know, blue collar guys, some would say, I never disagree with them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's I'm glad. What a cool trade. Like, you know, things I'm gonna eventually probably in the future will have to call you, and I will have to pay someone like that. That's cool. Good job. Like, right on. And you're getting experience right out of high school. You know, you're going to be able to buy a house before me. Cool. Like, But, there's a lot of, there's a lot of pull back and push back from that type of stuff. Have you guys ever noticed that? And maybe because that's a lot of people in college are just giving people in the trades bad rep. That's on them, man. But I guess this is for my future people. Like, hey, if you see me, man, and you're going to brag about the trades, that's cool, man. Do your thing. But, I don't. We're just living in your head rent free, man. Like, dude, we're not, I don't want to say worried. And this may be, I may get a lot of slack from this. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, if you boil it down, it's really just a decision that both you and I made differently. And if you're going to get mad at me and try to hold me contempt to something like that, that's just, isn't that boring? Doesn't that suck a little bit? Honestly. Like, you're like, oh yeah, well, I didn't waste all my money at college like you did. It's like, all right, well, that's my decision. I got to worry about that, not you. So we could get off the whole train of how much better your decision is than mine right now, if you really want it. Like, cool, you did that, I did this. And then the whole finger point and blame deflect, well, I didn't have it like you did. What is that going to do you? Like, I know what it's going to do to me. It's going to be like, all right, I get it. I get your point. Anything else you want to share? No. I just made a better decision than you. I'm going to make more money than you, and I could start a business and make more money by the time I'm 30 than you. It's like, cool, then do it, man. But don't come crying if it goes the other way around either. This is some truth, man, and I know a lot of people are construction people, man. I have some family who are in construction, and oh yeah, they make more money than me. I'm not sitting here like, oh, can you imagine just thinking that? You're lumping a lot of people in the college route that are doing that. I guess, look at me, though. Look, lumping the other side into things, too, so I apologize if I upset you there. But I'm pretty sure most people who work in the trades aren't really listening to this. They're kind of, and if they are, they probably don't give a shit either. They're like, oh, Dom's doing his thing at college. Cool, whatever. But it's just a small percentage, I should say. Just a small percentage of people. So, that's something I think about sometimes. But yeah, man. If you guys ever notice that when people get a new car, they try not to tell nobody, and they just pull up to a function, walking out of the car like it was like a limousine or something. Dude, that's always so funny to me. So, like, my buddy got this new car one time, and we were all hanging out at my other buddy's house, and we were, like, watching the game or something, and he rolled up, didn't tell nobody, and we're like, nobody knew. We're all inside, and we walked out. We're like, whose car is that? And then they just let people talk about it for, like 10 seconds. Like, I don't know, that's mine. I mean, is that your neighbor's? And then they go, oh, that's mine. And everyone's like, oh, just that attention loving, man. You notice that? Dude, they love that little, oh, yeah, that's your new car. Yep, with the cup holders. Yep, heated seats. Yep, only put $4,000 down. $800 a month. How much a month? $800. Well, yeah, it's a real nice car, man. Yeah, real nice. Yeah. That's usually how everyone who gets a new, or sometimes people just post a picture of them on Facebook with the keys, and they're like, look what I got, or look at the decision I made, look at the new financial liability I just got. I've seen some posts like that. Or I'm officially a car mom, car dad, a car uncle. It's always about uncle. It's never about how uncle's doing. I was down at the Warm Springs Pow Wow this past weekend and saw a lot of uncles, saw a lot of elders, and, a lot of people. Kids, being kids. That's important. I got a little cousin, and they were running around, and they were having a good time. And a lot of people are like, oh, you got to make sure your kids they sit there and they be quiet, behave. It's like, yeah, there's an extent, when it's serious and ceremonies going on and drumming and stuff like that. But, let the kids be kids, man. Let the kids roll around in the dirt. And here's, this is coming from perspective of someone who don't have kids. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'll know one day when I'm a father. One day. I'm not saying that soon, but, at the same time, I'm like, let the kids a piece of candy. Let them roll around in the dirt. I think it's cool. You know, I think it brings good energy to the place. You know, when a kid is having fun or people are having fun in an area, it does make the area feel cool. Or laughing around. To me, personally, some people get really irritated when kids are laughing around having a good time. And that could be because of their own thing, but not me. But yeah, I was at the store. We went to the store on the res out there. And you could tell, you know, there's new couples. New couples walking around the powwow and new couples walking around the stores together. And we were at the store next door to the powwow. And there's this guy and this girl. And you could tell the guy was just like hyped to be with this girl. I think it's been a while, or maybe it's his first girlfriend or whatever. He was like a young man. And I overhear his conversation because I had to go get some toothpaste or something. And he was over here convincing the girl. He's like, yeah, I got to buy me some razors. You know, I really need to, I shave about every day, you know. Really trying to get some props from the girl, you know. He was like, yeah, it just gets real thick right here. And the girl was like, I've never seen you shave. That was his sister was with him too. It was just I was so dead, man. Oh my God. It was like, oh shit. I just knocked over some Pepsi. Fuck. He did the thing where every guy's, you know, trying to impress the girl a little bit, but not really. The subtleness. That's the key. The guy goes, yeah, before we go out, I got to go home and I think I should shave. You know, I shave about every day, so I'm thinking about going to the store and getting a couple new razors. And his sister leans over because his sister's right there, and she's like, Henry, but you never shave. And man, this guy looks so red. You know, yeah, I grow a lot of hair, you know, and I got to shave a lot. It's just something that comes with getting older, I guess. And this kid's about 19, pretty young looking. And it was the funniest thing seeing his face, you know, when this sister was like, you never shave. You're just saying that. Oh, don't you hate when you're on the other end of that? What? You never do that. Shut up. You know, that's kind of the vibe I got. Had me dying, though. That's for sure. You see a lot of stuff at powwows, man. You see a lot of good people. A lot of good people doing good things at powwows, and you don't see a lot of stereotypical stuff. And I know there's a lot of... I've been getting some questions, or I've been asked by a couple people, what do you think about the Native American mascots? It's a pretty heavy question to ask any Native American, no matter how much Native you are, if you're enrolled, if you're half, if you're urban, if you're from the res, if you're Afro-Indigenous, if you're there's so many different ways to be Native and to, you know, hear this type of question and the different ways you'll react. And I'll react the same way that I've told many people, is that I've heard both sides of the spectrum. I've heard elders on reservations saying they're honored by mascots. I've heard natives off the reservation or even on the reservation that think it's hurting our people as Native Americans and misrepresentation. So what does this all mean to me? What do I think? I think anything that hurts our people in a negative way isn't good. But for me to look at something like a mascot and let that condemn the rest of my day and get upset about it isn't going to help me anything. If I can make a change and fix it and help Native lives, then that is the key. And anything I could do, I would do it. But at the same time, I like to fix my own damn community first. You know, I want to be able to, I don't know, this might sound really preachy, and, you know, feel free to skip ahead in this part. But how am I supposed to care about a mascot when I can't even get along with neighboring tribes? I can't get along with my own family. I can't get along with, you know, this isn't just me. I'm just saying as in a different person. Getting people that are Native American to get along. We have built so many systems and so many things that have divided us for so long. To name a couple, let me say, okay, there's the argument of, are you full native? Are you half native? Are you quarter native? And if you are, those three things are different types of native. If you're Afro-Indigenous, you're from the east side, I'm from the west side. Do you have a clan? Do you speak the language? Do you dance? Do you sing? Do you play basketball? And then are you from the city? And if you are, you're an urban native. If you're from the res, you're a res native. Res natives don't do what urban natives do, and urban natives don't do this. Those are 12, 11 different things that are all could be talked about for 5 hours a day for the next 3 years, and it's still going to be a hard problem to fix. So it's easy for us to sit here and say, yeah, the mascots are fucked up. Of course, yeah, those things should be fixed if it's hurting. But at the same time, we need to figure this other stuff out too, man. And you know what? I'm just a podcast with a couple, maybe not even 100 people listening to an episode. And what am I doing? I'm trying to be here for our people and make a difference somehow, even if I make you laugh one time. Or even, you know what, if I make you scoff and be like, oh, fuck this guy. Hey, I said it. And people may sit here and say, hey, that's not right for you to bring up all those points and talk about it like that. You know what's else? Pushing it under the rug ain't going to do shit either. But you know what? There's a lot of stuff going down. It's kind of one of those things I don't really know what else to say other than that. Because like I said, I don't have the answers, and I'm not sitting here saying I do, because I do not have the answers. But sitting here looking at that, I feel like, shouldn't we figure out our community first? And maybe that's the start. Maybe these people are way ahead of me. These people, these educated people, these people who are marching in these protests or holding the signs, maybe they know more than I do, and maybe I need to sit down with them and talk to them about it. But me right now, the reason you don't see me out there picketing, out there retweeting, out there going live and saying the Chiefs are, I've gotten that. Hey, are you even for those things? I never see you post about them. Oh, I'm sure a lot of us have heard that about any little program, any little thing. Well, you didn't share it. Does that mean you're not for it? Oh, man. No, that does not mean that. It means that I'm trying to figure everything else out too, man. It's hard to get on Twitter and retweet every damn little thing. Share every damn thing. I don't know. Again, I think the mascots, if they're hurting Native American people, should be taken down. Okay, there's your answer. But if we're going to do that, we better figure out everything else too while we're at it. We don't get rid of all these mascots and just say, all right, you know what? We're done. We did it. Yep. It shouldn't stop there, I feel like this is like fixing the leak in the sink, to be honest with you. We can go fix the real problem down under, figure out the water problem, and fix that. And then we'll figure misrepresentation as the whole is the real problem. We can sit here and point it at the NFL, the MLB, the NBA. Hey, you're doing this too wrong. You're doing this wrong. I don't even know where I'm going with this, man. I don't know. Sometimes I just start talking. And sometimes these things may be holding me from, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, it's just a room for a lot of things. It's been a real serious episode. Just like when you see things that are like fluffy. You ever see things that are fluffy in the news? Really fluffy? Anyway. You guys ever hear that, oh, yep, we got that speed now. I would always get, picked somewhat near the end at pickup basketball among my friends sometimes. And my cousins are always really good about, whoever gets on the team, they look at them for their strengths. So like, hey, we got this big guy. Hey, we got strength. We got boards now. And when I was a kid and I would get picked, my cousins always did a good job. They could have picked the better guy, but sometimes they'd pick me just to make the game more fun. And I remember whenever I would get picked, man, it would always crack me up. And I would always try to be serious, but it was one of those things that would be like, this is my cousins or my friends, oh, yep, we got that speed. Oh, this team's full speed, man. And it would just be sometimes just the rag team, it was just whoever showed up. And it would always crack me up. Oh, yep, we got that speed. Oh, yep, we got the big man on this team. Always hear that. And then I'd always just say heart over height. And damn right. Oh, my God, man. I was never really the best player out there. And I will be honest. Maybe sometimes with some of my other buddies, I'd be one of the better guys bringing the ball up. And that was a cool place to be in sometimes. But, you can't take those times away and those good times that I had with them. Those are real good times. And they definitely had some other games where I'm just watching back and forth, fight, someone gets ejected and then we leave the tournament earlier. I've seen all that too. But, I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to do what I love and talk to you guys and do things like this and speak funny things, man. Like that thing at the powwow, man, it was just funny. It was just funny. And that's why I'm talking about it, Some natives will be like, yeah, I gotta go home shave. My beard's been coming in real thick. When the guys got none, Oh, that stuff has me dead. Anyway, all I can really say is thanks, Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And I know this episode was a little like, oh, shit. What's Dom talking about? Damn, I didn't know mascots can get him going like this. I guess it's not even the mascot thing. It's everything else that needs to be fixed too. What needs to be fixed is, and I can help people who are going around among the same path as I've gone. I know I can help with that. So if you're a native in college and you're trying to do that, I can help you with that. If you are struggling, if you are going through stuff, I've gone through stuff. Not as much as some others, for sure. But if you're, especially, I'm a native man. Native men need help out there. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Hit me up. Dom Joseph Podcast. See you guys next week. Hoyt.